Hello, I'm going to show you a game today. It was played by Paul Morphy and Adolf Anderssen. Now, Morphy, when he was in the United States Chess Congress, he really crushed the field, beating Louis Paulsen, and he really crushed everybody he played. And so he went to England to try and find stronger players and to challenge Staunton, the self-proclaimed champion of the world. And he goes, and Staunton really tries to avoid the match. He says he's ill, and he was really, really criticized for it. But nevertheless, Morphy goes, and he says, forget England, I'm going to France. So he went to France, and he actually, by accident, challenged Adolf Anderssen, the people's favorite, to be the world champion. And he challenges him to a match. And Morphy actually had intestinal influenza, and he was treated with leeches and had lost a lot of blood. He wasn't even able to stand on his own. And but nevertheless, Morphy plays. And I'll show you the game. It was a casual game. It wasn't part of the actual match, which also was played in 1858. But I'll show you the game. It's starts off with e4, e5, f4, the king's gambit. E takes f4, knight to f3, g5. We have h4, g4, knight to e5, knight f6, the king's gambit accepted. Kierseritsky gambit, I don't know how to pronounce it. We have knight takes g4, knight takes e4, d3. Anderssen actually was threatening to play knight g3 and either capture the bishop or the rook, but of course Morphy encourages this, and so he plays d3. We have knight g3, bishop takes f4, knight takes h1, and then we have queen to e2 check. Anderssen played queen e7, but let's see what happens if he covers up with the bishop. We have knight to f6 with check, king to f8, the only move, and then bishop to h6, checkmate, which would be really unfortunate. So after queen to e2 check, we have queen e7, we have knight to f6 check, king d8, the only move, then we have bishop takes c7 check. The only move is king takes c7, then we have knight d5 check with the royal fork, we have king d8, knight takes e7, and bishop takes e7. And after all that's said and done, Anderssen is left with two pieces and a rook for the queen. Let's see what Morphy does with his queen. We have queen to g4, we have d6 with an attack on the queen from the bishop, we have queen to f4 attacking that f7 pawn. Anderssen plays the best move, he plays rook g8 developing. Then we have queen takes f7, bishop takes f4, h4 check, we have king to d2, we have rook e8, knight to a3, later on going to b5 and then covering the c7 square. That way the king really can't escape or find any solace. We have knight to a6, but actually instead Anderssen actually had this bishop to g5 check. And Morphy has to play king to c3, but if he goes king to d1, you can't go there because we have bishop to g4 check, and black is completely winning this game. So after knight a3, we have knight a6, queen h5, threatening to take the bishop, and if the bishop moves, then Morphy can take the knight on h1. We have bishop to f6, and threatening that b2 pawn, but that way he can attack the rook and the knight. But nevertheless, Morphy plays queen takes h1. We have bishop takes b2. Morphy actually does this. He doesn't just try and save the rook by playing rook b1 and then losing a piece. He plays the best move. Queen to h4 check. We have king to d7. We have rook b1. Bishop takes a3, and then queen to a4 check. And then after the king moves, they'll he'll pick up the bishop. And actually, in this position, Anderssen resigned because he's just down too much material. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope it was instructive somehow. I know you shouldn't really play the King's Gambit unless you're playing with like blitz games or something, but that was a very nice tactic to get the royal fork. But I hope you guys subscribe, and thank you very much. I'll see you later.